Okay, we are ready for our next step. I've included a picture of the painting so far, where we're finished with our grisaille layer, our underpainting. Hopefully you've added some highlights and things, and deepened some shadows. Let's see. This is the tulip that we painted separately so that we would get the idea. And this tulip, I'm thinking about maybe bringing it up just a little bit more. We've got the lightest lights here for the center of interest, and over here and some of the leaves out on the edge, we've left those very dark with some burnt umber showing through. So the next step is our background, and we're going to follow the mixing directions. We're on page 13 out of 16, and we're going to mix a number 1 background, which is burnt umber and Prussian blue hue, 4:1, and then the number 2. And you know, I think I've got one of these mixed. But I'm just going to mix it anyway to make sure. So we're going to start with burnt umber, and then we'll have 1 part of Prussian blue hue. So I'll just put about 1/4 on here of what I've already got in the burnt umber. And let's mix that. I've mixed a small amount here, and I'm sure that I'm going to have to mix some more. So you want to mix a larger petal than this. This is going to be the number 2 background mix, which is a warmer dark with burnt umber and Prussian blue. We have a little bit more of our burnt umber than we did with the first mix. I'm going to go get another bottle of burnt umber. I pulled a bottle of burnt umber off the rack. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go some plus. And we'll go 1 of Prussian blue. And let's mix that. And you can see a difference pretty well in these two colors, even just by flashing it. You can see a difference. This one is much bluer, much greener, and this one is more brown. And we have one more background mix to make. Number 3, and since it doesn't tell us on 13 what that mix is, then we've got to go back to page 7. And we're going to start with titanium white, yellow oxide, and a little bit of the same background, and the same mix that you used for the background outside the nook, which would be a little bit of number 4. So bring that page out. And let's mix a very small amount of number 4. If you haven't already got that. That might be what I've got on my palette, but it's unidentifiable. So okay, we got 2 of titanium white. I'm going to make my parts smaller. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 6 titanium white. So let's do 4 more of these little guys. We have 3 burnt umber. Okay, we have our 2 background mixes 1 and 2. Now we need to make background mixes 3 and 4 because we're going to use 3, but we have to use a little bit of 4 in order to make 3. So what we're going to need, first of all, is some raw sienna. We need 6 parts of the raw sienna. I actually think that I've got enough paint there that would equal 3 because I made those little part sizes a little too large. So I'm going to stop there. 3.5 titanium white, so I'm going to take all of those plus about a half of another one. Okay. And 1 Prussian blue. Let's mix this up. This is the color that we're using for the background outside of the niche. Okay, now to make background 3 for inside the niche, the light areas, we need to take titanium white, yellow oxide, and a little bit of this mix. And we're going to add enough yellow oxide and white to equal about a value 5 or 6. Okay, so this is about a value 4, so we need to make it a little lighter.